Hi, I'm Massimiliano Marcon and I'm the product manager for developer tools at MongoDB. Today, I'm really excited to show you all the things that we've added to Compass recently. Let's start from here, from the new Connect screen. So some time ago, we redesigned the Connect experience for Compass. We wanted to make it easier to use for most users. So if you have a connection string from Atlas or from another MongoDB deployment, you just paste it here and you're good to go. However, if you have more advanced configuration for your connection, then you can just switch to the form. You can use it as you were using it before and configure all the parameters that you need to connect to your MongoDB. Additionally, as you see here, we added colors for favorites. This way, it's much easier to distinguish your production cluster from all the other environments, and you don't risk messing things up in production. For example, for today's demo, I'm using green to identify the cluster I need to connect to. So let's connect to it. I have here a database called Compass Demo where I have a movies collections. This is the document inspector that you've known for a while. Recently, we also added JSON mode, which is very nice as a way to explore and work with your data, especially when there is a lot of copy pasting between Compass and another tool. Our users really enjoy using this editing functionality. The next thing we're going to see is import-export. So Compass has had import-export for a while, but it was not very advanced and it was mostly useful with small datasets. So recently, we released a new version of it, and this new version, we built it from scratch and can handle importing big datasets much better, and also offers some advanced functionalities when you interact or import and export the CSV files, which is a big use case for a lot of our customers. Let's see how that works. So I'm going to create a new collection. I'm going to call it toughest characters. Since we're talking about movies, then I have a data set about the toughest characters in the movies, and we're going to import that. So I'm creating a collection. Let's switch to it. And I'm going to import some data. I have here a CSV file. I select it. And as you can see, immediately I get a preview of a few of the documents that are inside that CSV file. What's interesting is that I can also select and deselect fields that I want to import or not import. And I can also convert types on the fly. So I know that toughest score needs to be a number. So I just say number in this dropdown. And when I do the import and I go back and check my documents, toughness score is exactly as you would expect. Now, let's look at the most recent feature of Compass, the integrated MongoDB Shell. Here it is. Having most of the MongoDB features available in the Compass UI is great, but sometimes you want to do something more advanced, like running an admin command or quickly hack together a script. This is now possible with the new MongoDB Shell embedded into Compass. Let's see how it works. So it's a shell, so it works exactly as you expect. So the same way it works in your terminal, it works in Compass. You can show DBs, you can use ADB, and it's nice because you are in Compass, so you can copy paste things from one place to another. So I can select this, I paste it here, and there you go. Now let's run a simple query, for example, db.movies.find, and let's try to find all the movies that are as old as I am. Year, there's a year field in the movies collection, 1982. Oh, there's an error. And as you can see, the error is very easy to spot and it's very informative. It says that DV is not defined, which is true. I actually typed DV instead of DB. So let's go and fix that. And now the query will work. As you can see, there are actually movies in the collection that are as old as I am. And the results are syntax highlighted, so it's very easy to distinguish fields from their value, and it's easy to tell data types apart. So we have strings, we have numbers, we have dates. That's pretty cool. And because the shell works exactly the way it works in the terminal, I can just say count. That also gets auto-completed, and autocomplete here is very nice because it works in the same way it would work in a code editor. And there you go. So count works in the same way it would work in the terminal. Let's say the naming convention for fields here in the collection I imported is not what it is supposed to be. So my team typically uses snake case this is camel case, and I wonder if I can put together a script that I can run here in the shell that will fix that. Let's take a look at a script that does that. So the first part of the script is this. Let's look at it. So I do a find in the db.toughest characters collection. I convert it to an array. So now this has become a JavaScript array. I do a map. This is a JavaScript map function. And I convert the original field names to field names with underscore in between. So snake case. And now if I run this, this has been assigned to this characters reformatted variable. If I print it, you'll see what it looks like. There you go, exactly what I expected. And now I can run an insert many, for example, and put it back into a new collection, for example. Reformatted.insert many. Autocomplete is always there to help. And the variable was called characters reformatted. So I put it here. I do an insert many. You see that it has been confirmed, acknowledged. I have all the IDs that have been inserted. And now if I switch back to my Compass UI and I refresh, you see that the new collection is here. The data has been inserted. And it looks like what it is supposed to look like. Now, this was probably not the most optimal way of doing this reformatting. However, I did it so I could show you that this is exactly like the shell that you have in the terminal. So you can run MongoDB commands and you can run JavaScript functions and it will work exactly how you would expect. So we are actively developing the shell in Compass to improve it and make it more integrated with the rest of the user interface. But this first version already offers useful functionality, and it is a great way to run operations that are not exposed in the Compass user interface. Plus, you can also run scripts. So what have we seen today? In the recent versions of Compass, we improved the connect screen. So we now support connecting to MongoDB and Atlas simply with a connection string, or with a more advanced way of connecting where you can specify all the details of your connection, all the authentication configuration, etc. Favorites have also been improved. You now have an easier way to edit them. You can assign colors, so you can distinguish your production cluster from your development environment. Also, we've redone import-export, so now it's more powerful and works very well with big data sets. The last thing, but a very exciting one, is that Compass now includes the MongoDB shell. The integrated shell is just one click away, and you don't need to keep switching between Compass and your terminal to run commands that are not exposed in the Compass UI. The integrated shell is available in the latest beta of Compass. Download it today and let us know what you think.